Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 17 times, shame on Elon Musk. The Tesla CEO once again teasing the future of transportation with his Robotaxi, only this time he did arrive in the cybercab with no steering wheels nor pedals. Were investors impressed, though? That ultimately is the question. Let's find out from Wang. He is the founder, chairman, and principal analyst at Constellation Research. He joins us now from the Bay Area. Ray, always good to see you, sir. It was a little bit late, like an hour late last night, and we've heard this so many times from Elon Musk. What did you make of this performance?
You know, he finally did it 5 years later. You're absolutely right. And it's one of these interesting things where you just wonder if it's going to happen. But I think he's got a $400 billion opportunity for robotaxis. And when we're looking at cybercab, it's actually going to be interesting to see how he pulls this off, because there's two phases. Phase one is, let's get your Model Y, your Model 3 ready. You can loan it out if you want to be part of the program. And then phase two is, hey, you can pick up a cybercab on your own for $30,000 and put it into the fleet. And there's amazing things you can do. And it's really disrupting business models. If it's successful, it will actually give Uber a run for their money. It will give public transportation a run for their money, because they're operating somewhere between 20 and 30 cents a mile, and public transportation is running $1 per mile. So this is a very interesting piece of business disruption that he's about to unleash.
Of course, ultimately, as I said, he's been rolling this plan out, teasing it for the better part of a decade, and still seemed to tiptoe around when we'd actually see it. When do you think we'll actually see the Robotaxi on the road?
Well, there are a couple of things that he has to get through. He's got to get clearance through Texas and California, which I hope he does, right? And that's going to be the two markets he's going to start with. But if he does do that, he's shooting for 2026 or before 2027. And I think that's the important piece. Is 2026 is the cyber cab launch, I guess, right? And this is why you and I are kind of like hesitant. But I think he's going to start putting them into vehicles in 2025, because you need the equipment in there to be able to do what he's trying to do. And then he's hoping that once everybody's upgraded, or whoever has the right set of equipment, he can light you up, and then everybody will be part of that network.
Aren't Waymo and GM already doing this?
Waymo and Cruise are definitely doing this, but they're doing it with their own vehicles. They're not doing it with everyone else's vehicles. And this is back to the genius of the model. You go out and buy a cab, which you then lease out to Elon back to make some money on, which then actually allows you to actually put your car to use while you're actually not using it. And so the capital costs are actually all borne by you. And so he's done a great job of outsourcing out the CapEx in terms of these cyber cabs. And then you basically go out and make some money off of the cyber cabs like a franchisee.
One very prominent tech analyst compared this to the unveiling of the iPhone for Apple. Now, granted, he's a bit prone to hyperbole, but what do you make of that bold comparison?
I love that guy, and I don't know if it's as big as the iPhone, but what I will say is that this is unleashing a brand new set of business models, which is really the fact that you have the ability to put cars into transport that actually are making money while they're like, bottom line is, look, your car is being used maybe 1/10 the time that you actually are able to use it, right? You're at work, you've parked it somewhere, you're doing something else. If you can put that and deploy it out there for someone else to use, that means there's going to be less traffic. That means it's better for the environment. And more importantly, you make some money on the other end. And so that business model is as revolutionary as the iPhone, in the sense that you'll get paid, they'll take a 25% cut for the car being out there, but it's the business model. It's the fact that you're changing the way transportation is going to work. And more importantly, you're changing the way how you pay for transportation, which means that we could actually spend less on public infrastructure, public transportation, and more importantly, on energy consumption.
The stock has plummeted on this news, down about 8% since last night. What do you make of that?
I think investors were hoping for it to be available now. I think investors were hoping that was going to be more than Texas and California. And I think what they wanted to also see was the Model 2. But the run-up since, right, the 50% run-up since was already priced in. So I think, people are just taking money off the top. So if you actually believe that in the end, what Tesla is trying to be is not an auto manufacturer or EV company, but a company that's focused on robotics and AI, then this makes a lot of sense. And this is that shift into that new model where they're actually going to go into the ability to actually take a Optimus robot, use that to bring to your house, use that to actually manufacture goods inside Tesla, take the self-driving capabilities that you're seeing that was working in the robots for SpaceX, bring that to the public infrastructure. I mean, these are all critical technologies and critical infrastructure technologies that Elon's working on. So if you fundamentally bet on that thesis and believe that Elon's one of the few people that are ever going to be successful to do this in the private sector, then the stock valuation is great. If you can't see that, then you shouldn't be in the stock.
And that's basically what he said. The stock's around 220 today. Do you buy that vision? Where will the stock be in 5 years?
Definitely buy the vision. In 5 years, I think you probably be around 400. And here's why. You're going to have a Model 2 that's going to come in the subprime area. You're going to have the energy management. The piece that people don't talk about that I'm excited about are the mega packs on the energy side. The autonomous pieces are dual use technologies. So I would say that what you can do for an Optimus robot can also be used for military applications. And I think we're going to see more of that in the future in terms of space, military, other types of like defense applications. And then of course, the piece that we'll be seeing is the fact that not many companies are able to make money in the EV market. And Tesla has that vertically integrated stack to be able to go do that. And those are going to be critical technologies that are going to be used not just for cars, it's all of transportation.
Several government agencies are looking into Elon's fully autonomous software because of several accidents, even deaths across the country. Numerous lawsuits are before the courts. How big a concern is that?
It is a big concern if they're actually, I mean, you don't want cars killing people. You want to make sure the fatality rates are lower than what the normal fatality rates are. And of course, you want to be able to know that these systems are going to learn from those fatality rates and reprogram them. And so the question is like, how safe is safe enough? It's not going to be 100% safe. Cars aren't when humans driving. The question is, what will the public tolerate in terms of safety from autonomous vehicles? It's got to be a significant factor better. And that's going to be important too, especially when they roll out a robo-van carrying 20 people, right? That's also going to be, people are going to wonder, at the end of the day, it comes down to who do you sue? Do you sue Tesla? Do you sue the network operator? Do you sue the software company? Or do you sue the government? And people are going to want to know where liability sits.
I did want to ask you about that robo-van. 20 people can reportedly kick back, enjoy some drinks, and essentially, as he said, hang out in a lounge or go to sleep and wake up at their destination. What did you make of that product?
I love that. Here's why. People complain about affordable housing all the time. It's too, it's too dense and there's not enough space and housing is so expensive. This means that we're going to see brand new markets being created with tier 3 cities, right? You could live like 200 miles out and actually wake up at work, right? You could go anywhere you want and actually have supply chain networks in these hub and spokes in the exurbs that we're going to see coming up. And so this means that people can spread out, get more space, lower the cost of living in terms of housing costs, and more importantly, get to work when they need to get to work.
Hadn't thought of the potential impact on housing. Very interesting. All right, finally, have to discuss Elon's politics now. He has gone all in on former President Donald Trump, on getting him reelected. He sat on stage with Tucker Carlson joking about a potential assassination of Kamala Harris. How damaging that is it potentially for the company, for really alienating a wide swath of potential and even likely customers?
The bottom line is, please don't get involved in politics if you're a corporate CEO. If you can do it in the background, do it behind the scenes. Nobody cares what your politics are. If you're an actor, you're an entertainer, I really don't care what your politics are because I don't want that to damage your creativity and what I like about your music. I have my views, you have your views, I respect them, but as a CEO, please don't. I don't care what party you're in or what you're advocating. I don't want to know who you're voting for president.
I think we can agree on that, my friend. Do you drive a Tesla?
I've had a Tesla since the beginning, put money down in 2008, didn't think I'd get a car, picked one up in 2012, and was one of the first people to actually take a Model S down the first supercharging network from San Francisco to LA. Early adopter, but here's the kicker. I bought the Tesla, my wife bought shares.
But we can agree, the Cybertruck is a step too far, right?
Cybertruck is a step too far. I have literally, it's here, ready to be ordered. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it. It's just too far. It doesn't fit in my car garage. I'm not sure if I love it, hate or love it. But it's definitely unique. And for the people who have one, they love it. So.
Yeah, it's kind of like Elon himself. And this is the final question. When he rolls out these presentations, I can't decide if he's P.T. Barnum or if he's Thomas Edison or if he's both. What do you think?
I think he's a very eccentric Ben Franklin, and I leave it at that.
Fair enough, and well said as always. Ray Wang is the founder, chairman, and principal analyst at Constellation Research. Always a pleasure having you, sir. Thanks so much.
All right, take care. Thanks, Dave.